Pause. Minus 9 point.
Well, hello again. It's the 2nd of July and 5:47 a.m. So I got up early after I went into a deep sleep at around 9:30 when I took my sleeping pill last night. And I went into a massively deep sleep, and then I woke up at like 3ish, 2:30, 3 a.m. I was in a hugely deep sleep. And I woke up a bit groggy, but eventually I felt like I'm awake now. Time to actually get up. I'm going out next Wednesday, going to Capella Bar, to the Golden Circle outlet. That'll be good. And coming back to my local shopping centre for lunch. And I should have a really good day, I hope, if the support worker is really good. For the rest of this week, I'll just be sitting around at home resting because I don't really want to go out. I just want to keep to myself for a while. I mean, I make phone calls to one of my friends at the unit complex where I'm living, so I do that, no worries, and sometimes visit her, but I think with a bit of stress going on with the NDIS not taking requests and all that sort of stuff, I'm not happy, and what's wrong with my skin? I've got some kind of eczema thing going on with that skin. What's wrong with it? Frankly, I just don't care, and I'm not interested in a weekly support budget. It's not how I live. I don't agree with having support workers all the time. I eventually have to ring up guide dogs and tell them what's going on, even though I don't really want to book in an occupational therapist, but I'm going to have to eventually. I also have to, if I want the NDIS to fund technology for me, I've got to use an OT, but if I want to pay for stuff myself, I just don't go through an OT. I buy stuff using my own pension money for myself without using an occupational therapist for assistance to get NDIS funding, because applying to the NDIS for stuff is a piece of shit and I don't like doing it. I think it's crap. I've also made a decision, even though I personally can read paper braille quite well, I would rather use a braille display. So I think it's going to be a difficult decision because I've got a New Testament Bible in braille and I've got one of the Left Behind books in braille. But I've made the difficult decision that when I get a new braille display, I want to donate all the braille books I bought so far, because I don't see a reason for keeping braille books when they take up too much space, and I don't really want to keep a lot of braille books around because they're taking up too much space that would just make my unit feel too cluttered for me. And then nobody's helping me put a bookshelf in, so, I mean, that's not a huge deal. I don't need a bookshelf, but I don't really want to take up extra space for braille books when I could use that space for something else and read Braille on a Braille display instead of paper copies of books. So once I've read all the Braille books that I want to read, I really am not going to buy any more Braille books because they're too expensive, when it's cheaper in the long run to just keep getting a Braille display every 6 or 7 years. Like, yeah, they're expensive, but the Braille display is electronic and it's refreshable and it's single line. Not that I have a problem with paper Braille so much. It's more that paper Braille wears out, and if you bugger up the book, you got to get a new book, and it's like, I don't know. I just think it's easier to use computer Braille, electronic Braille. Yeah, the Braille display can go flat, but when a paper book goes all worn out, I then have to spend money to buy a new paper Braille book, and I find that quite a pain in the ass. So I think I'd rather donate my paper Braille books and use a Braille display, because I've got a Kindle app there and I've got thousands of books on there that I can read in Braille to my own discretion, at my heart's content. I can read as much as I want. The only thing is my current Braille display is broken, so it kind of works, but it's a bit buggered, so I need to get a new one because this one is breaking down. So I need a new Braille display. Definitely need a new Braille display, and I won't need to keep my paper Braille books anymore because I've got the Bible app, and I can use the Bible app to read the Bible in Braille. I don't need a paper Bible. So I'll keep the Braille books for now. I won't buy any more Braille books, and when I eventually get a Braille display, I will be getting rid of the Braille books. I don't need them anymore. I don't need them. I'm actually going to donate the Braille books to my unit complex. I'm going to donate them because I would much prefer a Braille display, and I'm going to sort that out later. I will keep the books until I no longer need them, but yeah, once I've got this new Braille display, the books are going because they're taking up too much space. The cookbook that I've got in Braille, I don't even use it. Like, I hardly ever read it. I got that 2 years ago. I don't know why I don't even read it, And I don't even like most of the food in the book. Most of it's disgusting, actually. I wouldn't even make it. I feel bad for even buying it. So I'm going to donate literally all the Braille books that I don't need, so that whoever wants paper Braille is welcome to it. If it needs to go in the bin, it'll go in the bin. But it's a waste of money, and it's $500 or thereabouts down the drain for something that I don't even want to keep, for all these Braille books. And then my toxic family members are all about, keep physical hard copy books, and I'm like, no, I don't have to do that. I only want electronic stuff because it doesn't take up a lot of space, and I don't really have much to do with my family now anyway. So yeah, I frankly could not give a stuff what anybody says to me about keeping Braille books or not keeping Braille books. I think it's crap. I think keeping Braille books is crap and takes up too much bloody space. So yeah. I have to do my washing this morning while I'm talking. Just give me a second, hang on. I absolutely must do my washing today or I'm going to forget it yet again. Jesus. Hang on. Frankly, I am not interested in keeping paper braille forever. I mean, there are some things I need to keep in paper braille. There are definitely certain things that I do have to keep in my file folders and that as paper braille. That's fair enough. But keeping a huge amount of braille books around when I have literally no space to keep them is, in my book, a complete pain in the ass that I don't need to deal with. So it's not going to happen anymore. So I I won't do it straight away, but I'm eventually going to get rid of I'm eventually going to get rid of my braille books, eventually. Because I don't need to keep them. Obviously, I'll have to throw my braille display in the bin eventually because I can still only just use it. Like, when I'm charging it, I have to be careful not to touch where the broken switch is so that I don't hurt myself, so that's dangerous. So I don't really, I will hold the braille display on my lap and gently touch the top of the pins as usual, but what I do is I turn off the PowerPoint, turn off the braille display using the broken switch on the side of it, that's broken, and then I cover the top of the braille display with the carry case, because I essentially shut the carry case over my braille display as usual. I put it back on the ground and then I turn the PowerPoint back on and I finish charging my braille display, and then I obviously won't electrocute myself, So yeah, hang on, I'm just going to cancel my 6 a.m. alarm, just give me a sec.
Speech, message, notes, clock, 6 a.m.
Oh no, it hasn't gone off.
Tab bar,
Hang
stop,
on.
selected, alarms, stopwatch, no alarm, sleep vertical, no, check, other, head, 4:30 a.m., 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m., medication, every day, switch button, off.
Oh no, it's turned off. That's okay. I took my medication just now anyway. Oh, I tell you what. Going into a really deep sleep for several hours and then I wake up early.
6 a.m., medication, 8:30 p.m., sleep medication, every day, switch button, on. 6 a.m., medication, every day, switch button, off. On. 5:30, 6 a.m., medication, every day, home, clock, 6:01 a.m. App switcher, clock, recorder HQ, active. Clock, active, closing clock, recorder HQ, recorder HQ, active, recorder HQ, pause, stop, but core, minus 11.9 watts.
So I fixed all that up. I'm just very cautious with how I use my braille display so I don't get electrocuted. But as soon as I've got a new one, I am throwing this old one in the rubbish bin. And I will be getting rid of my paper braille books because I don't need them at all. I really don't need to keep them. So I'm going to find a way to get rid of them. I will finish reading them, but I don't want to keep them. I really don't. I don't want to keep them at all. I frankly think, someone else who doesn't like braille displays, who only reads paper braille, will benefit greatly from those books. I can read paper braille and I can read braille, electronic braille. So I really don't want to read paper braille unless I need to. If I receive letters from the NDIS, they're in paper braille, so I keep those. I can chuck out those braille letters after a while when I don't need them. I can just get rid of them. But yeah, I won't be keeping paper books forever. I feel that I've given my donations to the Braille Superstore that they need. If I want other Braille products, I can go through another Braille product store and get stuff that I need that I can keep forever, like Braille measuring cups and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I would rather keep my money for a worthy cause, like keeping stuff that I'm definitely going to use forever. And I've got my Perkins Braille machine there. I can use it when I need to, but I don't use it that much, but I'll use it when I need to. And yeah, I pretty much I just save the Braille for what I really need it for. And instead of spending money on paper Braille books now, I'll spend it on other stuff that I can keep permanently. Talking and Braille. So that's how I'll work around that one. If I happen to get a Braille display through the NDIS, I'll be getting the Q Braille XL again. If I don't get it through the NDIS, I'm going to get the one from Vision Australia through my own pocket money. Not pocket money, my own pension payments. Because I already use the Vision Australia website to purchase other products, I'll be able to easily purchase that Braille display with the same process that I purchase other things like Scrabble and other Braille games and that, So, yeah, I'll be able to sort all of that out. I also have to use up as much funding in my plan as possible because it's extended until next year. So the 12 weeks payment periods haven't come into effect yet. So next year I have to divide my budget into 4 parts. So it's 4 times a year that I have access to my budget. I am so angry about that. But I do plan on not using my plan next year. When I get an NDIS plan, I won't use it. And I'll just say, well, it's laid out wrong and I don't like it, so I'm not using it. And if the psychiatrist comes out to my unit, I'll just say, well, I'm not satisfied with my NDIS plan, I'm not using it. Full stop. I'll deal with that fight next year. I'm getting the energy to fight back. I'm getting frozen meals every single week. There is another place called U-Foods. I can get stuff from local supermarkets or buy U-Foods online. So if I want some fresh food trays to put in the fridge that I don't have to freeze, I can just put them in the fridge. That's okay. And I can buy my other frozen meals that you just put straight in, they're frozen. And because they're not full of fat and they're gluten-free, not that I need gluten-free food, but hey, it doesn't matter if I eat gluten-free food. It really doesn't matter. I'm just getting a lot stronger and I'm able to just handle life a bit easier because of how I'm, not just how I'm eating and drinking, but because I have control over my dietary routines now, I feel less stressed, so I'm getting more energy from not being stressed all the time. So I'll be able to deal with fighting back next year, and I'll just say, well, I'm not happy with my plan, I'm not fucking using it. I'm not using my new plan. And when a plan review comes up, and they say, do you want to change your goals? I'll say, no, the NDIS isn't changing my goals, and I'm not interested in having a discussion today. When they say why, I'll say because the NDIS isn't interested in what I've got to say, so I'm not interested in submitting my my ideas and goals and all that on paper because the NDIS doesn't listen to them. It's not interested in the NDIA is not interested in what I've got to say. And when the bastards from Carers Queensland say, oh, just tell us what you want, we'll submit it. It's like, you guys aren't the NDIS, I don't have to tell you anything. I do not have to tell you nothing. So I'll just tell them that I don't have availability for participating in a plan review because I don't get heard, and my thoughts don't get reflected in my NDIS plans. So that's it. And if some idiot tries to tell me, oh, your goals will change when you change them, it's like, no, they won't, and I don't want to go through this discussion again. And then I'll just hang up the phone. I just won't put up with people telling me what to do and how I think and feel, and, when people start carrying on about how they're sorry about how I feel, I just say, no, you're not. You're worried about losing a job. You're not sorry about how I feel. And then when they say, I want to have a professional discussion, I'm like, no, you need to be professional because I'm just telling you professionally that I don't think that you have any slightest bit of concern about me. I am being professional. You need to be professional. And, when someone says, well, I want to have a good discussion, I want to talk, civilly, and that's like, no, you're the one that needs to talk civilly. You have a problem with me, I don't have a problem with you. The only problem I have is you telling me how I feel. Stop doing it. And don't tell me you're sorry when you're not. I don't put up with people who treat me like that. I won't tolerate anybody. I just will not tolerate it from anybody. Like when people say, hey, sister, it's like, don't call me sister. I'm not your bloody sister. I'm not anybody's bloody sister. I'm not hello, sister. Like, excuse me, don't be rude and violating of my personal space, thank you. But yeah, that's going to turn into a huge joke when I talk to my friend later because, me and her do talk over the phone and hang out. And even though we're not, sisters, we kind of like sisters, I guess, the way we hang out and talk and that. So there's going to be a bit of joking around later. Like, oh, hello, sister, how are you? I'm not your sister. No, but I just can't stand people telling me how I think and feel and what I want and how I live and how I eat and drink. Let the doctors deal with all of that, I just, I just cannot friggin' tolerate people at all. Most people, that is. Not everybody. There's just a lot of people I can't tolerate. Especially people who work for the NDIS. I cannot tolerate any of it. I don't like anybody who works for the NDIS. I think if people are supportive of and work for the NDIS, they're in cahoots and they obviously approve, or maybe they think they don't approve, but they're supporting the NDIS, so they're in cahoots with the NDIS. And I just think, well, okay, don't be concerned about me, just be concerned about what the NDIS guidelines say. Who cares about my individual needs as a person with a disability? Don't worry about that. Just worry about the guidelines and what they say. And if I don't fit the guidelines, you can fucking tell me to kiss sand. Tell me to pound sand. Because I don't fit within these special guidelines of someone with a disability, so I just automatically don't have the criteria for having a disability. Doesn't matter how much I'm struggling, it just matters that I don't fit into some fucking stupid bureaucratic policy, so bugger me dead. Like really. And don't get me started on support coordination, because they're shit. They don't help you deal with what supports you want. They help you deal with what options you've already got based on your plan. They don't give a flying stuff what your individual needs are. They just go, what are your support needs? We can only offer you support needs based on your current plan options. They're not interested in what your support needs are based on tell us what you think you need and we'll help. They say, that doesn't suit your NDIS plan, we can't help you with that. It's like, well, why the fuck are you asking me about my support needs when you then say, sorry, your NDIS plan doesn't support that? It's like, well, it fucking does though. It's like, if I say this is a support that I want because it's on the list of supports in the NDIS, oh yeah, it's on the list but it's not in your plan, you have to put in a plan review request to get that. It's like, yeah, bullshit. So just because something's on the support list doesn't mean it's approved for you. You might read the NDIS list and go, okay, I want exercise. I want someone to assist me with exercise. But that's not stated in your NDIS plan. So even though that's on the NDIS list, you still can't have access to that support for exercise. I mean, come on. Fuck support coordination. It's a scam. I really don't need support with how to use my plan I don't need support with how to use my plan just so that I can say I can only select support needs based on what my current options are. Like, no. Because, if someone says, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know what I want because it's based on my plan, not based on me and what I want. I can tell you, hey, I want exercise physiology. Hey, I want someone to help me with accessing the community independently. I want this, I want that. I know that's not approved for me because it's not in my plan, so I can't have any of those supports needs support needs funded, and I can't achieve any of those goals, and it's like, why is a support coordinator going to ask me about what my support needs are when I don't even have approval to get assistance from a worker for all the stuff I'm asking about, because it's not in my plan? I mean, come on, give me a break. If a support coordinator asks me what I want next year, I'll just say, well, the question you should be asking is what options do I want to pick from my NDIS package? Nothing. I don't want any of those options because I'm not getting what I want. I don't want anything. See you later. And then hang up the bloody phone and not let them help me. Because they're helping me based on the NDIA's fucking guidelines. They're not helping me for me. They're helping me for some stupid crapshoot guidelines that have nothing to do with me whatsoever. And if my disability doesn't fit those guidelines, I'm not disabled. Fuck me. So I won't put up with any shit from anybody next year, and I'm getting stronger. I'm slowly getting better, and I'm going to fight back. I mean, if I had to put up with a fight this year, I'd probably end up going back to the hospital. Oh man, I'd be so fucked if I had to fight this year. But next year, I will have all my routines in place, and everything will be just set up fine and dandy, permanently set, so that no matter what people do, what people say, how people lie about me, what kind of shit people talk about me, and waste my breath basically on people who don't deserve it, I don't have to change anything, and my routines won't be fucked. Maybe they will be for a few weeks. If I go to the hospital, everything changes until I get better. That's okay. But when I'm fine, I'm like, yeah, I'm back to my old ways again. So yeah, I say fuck anyone who doesn't agree with the decisions I make. Well, I don't care what people don't agree with. I'm making decisions, and too bad. I'm living my life for me. So I just won't put up with people pushing me around. And by the time next year comes around, I won't be accepting any NDIS reviews. I just won't accept them. I won't answer the phone if the NDIS tries to ring me. I just won't do it. And if I do answer the phone just because it's like, hey, it could be my friend ringing or it could be whoever, if it's the NDIA, I'll just say, sorry, I'm very busy at the moment. I can't stay on the phone. And if they start carrying on, I can just say, well, I did tell you I'm busy if you didn't listen to me the first time. And then I'll then hang up the phone and be like, that's better. That's much better, because I can't stand bullshit from people. I can't deal with it. I just cannot deal with any shit from anybody. I can't do it, Like, people need to just let me live my life and stop fucking bothering me. I'm pretty sure if I ring up guide dogs, they'll want to put in a report 6 weeks before my review date next year. So they'll have to put in a report by the beginning of April next year, and that's going to really piss me off. So I don't know if I want to ring up guide dogs. I don't know. I don't think I'll have much success. I guess I'll see how I go. But the NDIS doesn't read reports anyway. The NDIS doesn't give a flying shit about goals. You've got to put down some goals to get a plan, but the goals that you put down have no relevance to the plan. I mean, Jesus. How illogical and stupid does one have to be to realise that the NDIS is not interested in goals? It just wants goals on paper, so it has a reason to give you a crappy fucking funding package that has no relevance to individual disability needs and no relevance to reality. So when I'm given a really stupid plan next year, I'm not using it. I'm too scared of bringing guide dogs because I know once they get involved, they'll just say, oh, when we get your new plan next year, we'll give you a call. And it's like, well, I don't want a call back. I don't want to be hassled into using the fucking NDIS all the time. I just want to either pay for stuff myself or I don't want to be bothered with. Simple. I don't want bloody nonsense messing around, red tape, insurance friggin' policies. I don't want all that shit in my life. I don't need it. If I want something, I will pay for it. If I want something that badly, I'll save up the money and I'll pay for it. I can definitely afford stuff if it's something I'm really looking forward to. I can definitely bloody afford it. So yeah, I'm frankly not happy at all about this bullshit situation. So, I mean, I guess I could ring guide dogs and just tell them, hey, I need to use up my funding in this plan. And then next year I won't be using my NDIS plan. I'll just tell them that. And what they agree with or don't agree with is really not my bloody problem. You know, they can then say whatever they want. And whenever people tell me, well, it is your decision, I'm like, well, you're telling me it isn't my decision. Even if you say it's my choice, you're basically telling me it's my decision is another way of saying that you're going to talk me out of making that decision. So don't tell me it's my decision when you know it probably isn't. Or if you know it is my decision, don't tell me. I don't need to be reminded of what I want in my life. I don't need to be told what is and is not a choice. Once people start with this shit on me, I just go, well, don't tell me what to do. I'm making choices, and if you don't like that, then get out, you know? Like, oh, God. You know, when people say it is your choice what you do, it's like, well, why are you telling me how I feel? Why are you telling me what I want? If it's my choice, you shouldn't even need to tell me that. You know, don't give me irrelevant shit because you have to fill in time by saying something. Just don't do it. Just say, oh, okay, well, that's up to you. Let us know if you change your mind. Well, thanks, I will let you know. I probably will never ring back. But once you start saying, you know, it's totally your choice, blah, 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 it's like, don't try and convince me of what I already know. You know, fuck off. Don't tell me, you know, don't start talking shit at me. Just fuck off instead, you know, of talking at me with empty friggin' words. It's my fucking choice what I want to do. Of course it is. Who else said it wasn't? Clearly the person saying that it's my decision, what I do, clearly doesn't want it to be my fucking decision. Well, sorry to burst your bubble, madam or sir, but get over it and pull your finger out of your bum. You know, get a life. Stop bothering me. God. So yeah, I'm not going to get rid of my braille books for now. I'm definitely not going to ring up the plan manager and talk to them at the moment because they're useless anyway. I mean, there is no good plan manager. They're all stupid. They're all crappy. You're either better off going NDIA managed or self-managed. Plan managers are shit. They just not worth their weight. They're not worth the salt. You know. I won't be reaching out to them next year either. They can all go and pound sand. Kind of need to put my washing on. So, yeah, the idiots can go and stick it up the arse. Don't harass me in the process. Remember to friggin' breathe while they're at it, basically. And don't keep asking me stupid questions that are just not even relevant to real life, you know? You're just going to get the same answer every time. You know, if I say no, I'm not going to use my plan, don't keep asking me 15 fucking times thinking you're going to get a different outcome, because it's not going to work. Nagging at me and acting like a child is not going to make me feel any differently. You know, nagging at me and telling me stuff 15 times hoping I'll understand differently after the 15th time, that doesn't work with me. It might work with babies, it might work with people who don't think straight. And by thinking straight, I'm talking about, you know, really severe issues too, you know. Not just psychosis, I don't mean that. I literally mean really severe problems. You know, you can convince some people for the next hour and they'll change. If you try that with me, you're working with a brick wall, and you know how hard it is to make a brick wall change its shape, don't you? You're never going to get it to happen unless you bust it. Smash it with a hammer. Yeah. If you try that with me, I'll get rid of you too. So, you know, there does come a point where I just say, look, if people keep pushing me around, I'm eventually going to push back. And I'm going to not be nice about it. I'll no doubt see what Guide Dogs has to say. And I guess I'll go from there. I don't know otherwise. I think my best bet is just to have a couple of OT sessions under the NDIS, and then I can ring back and let them know when I'm ready for them to do a report. But if I then decide not to ring them back, I just won't ring them. and I'll see what the outcome is then. I just don't want to get phone calls next year and get told, oh, we got your new plan and we want you to use it. It's like, well, I'm not really going to utilise all my funding anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm not going to use it. And if the NDIS says to me, why aren't you using your funding? I'll just say, well, why are you telling me how I choose to live with my disability? Why are you telling me why are you telling me that I can choose when I have a good day or a bad day? Why are you telling me to control how my disability affects me? You know, please, if the NDIA people are going to ask me crappy questions, they need to just hang up the phone, because I'm not going to put up with their crap. So, yeah. In any case, I'm getting the washing done. I don't think I'll be going out this week. I'm just going to be reading all my Braille books. I'm going out next Wednesday, so I reckon if I read as much of my Braille books before next Wednesday as possible, and then I put the books into my support worker's car, we can just drop them off at the post office. When I go out to Capella Bar, then I'll come back to my local shopping centre and drop the books back. I can just do that. Because I know of somebody else in my current unit complex where I'm living. They go out for a couple of hours, do whatever they need to do, and then they go back to the shops and they put the books, Braille books, back into the post office. That way this lady can pick me up every Wednesday and we can do whatever. We can have lunch and all that stuff. And I'm glad that I'm doing a decent time in the morning where I can go out and easily have lunch and all that. And because I'll get picked up at 10 a.m, if I really need to go to the doctor's, I can set up a doctor's appointment on Wednesday, you know, a bit after 10 a.m, you know. And I'm hoping that this person is not going to be super non-punctual where they're always fucking late. And one excuse is okay, like they're late because of traffic, but every single week it's like, get your time in order, lady. Start managing yourself better. Stop driving to appointment shifts late. Stop turning up late. Stop getting out of bed late and driving, you know, and not getting ready early. Like, what's wrong with people? It's okay that they're busy, but why do they get to choose to be busy at home and make me late for my support shifts and that? What is wrong with people? If I make a time and someone agrees to a time, then I'm sorry. On that day, they have to put their busy schedule aside because they know they have a time scheduled in to be somewhere by, and they choose to fuck around and hold me up because of their fucking stupid schedule that they're not willing to put aside for one day or at least a few hours once a week because, you know, I'm being paid by the NDIS and my life is more important than your life, so if I turn up late I don't give a shit because I'm more concerned about my kids and family and my sick partner and how sick I am. Well, why did you sign up to get paid by the fucking NDIS if you're that concerned about your own schedule? Find a different job. You know, if you agree to a time to be somewhere, don't put your priorities first. Don't put your priorities over your appointment schedule. Set your priorities straight and make sure that, hey, I've got an appointment at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I've got to fix up my priorities today and early tomorrow morning because I really have to be somewhere at 1 and I can't be fucking late because my husband or my daughter or my son or my niece or my nephew or my wife or my mistress or whoever the fuck it is more important than my NDIS shift at 1 o'clock. I mean, how would support workers be if I say, okay, I'll meet you at 1 p.m. today, and at 12:30 I say, oh, I'm held up today, sorry lady, because, can I ring you up at 1 o'clock to let you know when I'll be there? Someone else is holding me up and I need to talk to my mum and I need to do this and I need to do that. I'm sorry, I was meant to meet you at 1 o'clock. It might be 2 o'clock instead. Really? God, if that was me, I'd say, Mum, I have an appointment at 1 o'clock today. I can't talk to you at 12:30 until 1 because I kind of need to get ready to go. And before that, I've got to have something to eat because I'm hungry. Mum, I'll ring you up at 10 o'clock a.m. today and talk to you till 11 because then I really have to go. I have to get ready. I have to eat lunch. I've got an appointment at 1 o'clock. I can't talk to you till after 4 p.m. today or before 10 o'clock today. If you need to talk to me urgently, I'm sorry, but I can't fit you in unless you're like in hospital or dying or something. If you urgently need to talk to me about your medical needs, I'm sorry, I can't fit you in. You know, if that was me and I knew I had to meet someone at 1, I would set my priorities aside and I would set them straight before this appointment knowing that I can't be late. I wouldn't just go, well, okay, fuck the client. Their NDIS is paying for me. If I turn up at 3 p.m, I'll apologise and be like, I decided to prioritise my life schedule and not worry about the time because the NDIS will pay me anyway. Like, I just don't do that sort of shit. And I'm certainly not going to tell someone, hey, I was meant to meet you at a certain time, but my life is more important than your NDIS payment, so I want the money anyway, and I don't care if you're held up and late because I choose to prioritise myself over your appointment time. Come on, you know how rude and selfish that really is? It is disgusting. So from now on, if a support person agrees to meet me at a certain time and they say, sorry, traffic's held me up, I'll just say, well, I'm cancelling the shift. I can't meet you. Because obviously, if traffic's holding them up, they have left wherever they are, their home or, I don't know, their other client. They have left late and they don't give a fuck about my shift times. You know, they don't give a fuck about... I don't expect them to personally care about me if they don't know me, but my judgment of someone's character is they don't have to care about me because they don't know me. I mean, I can't care about who I don't know either. But if I want someone to trust me and I want them to feel that their life is in my hands, if anything goes wrong, I will definitely help them. I'm not going to ruin that trust by not being reliable and not showing up when I say I'll be there and, you know... Like, if you're going to continually say, sorry, the traffic's holding me up, then maybe your priorities are more important than I am. I don't want you to be my support person. You know, the fact that people turn up late because of traffic hold-ups shows me that their time management skills are lacking. They're no good at managing time. And I just... You know, I get that some care platforms are really crap and sometimes phones play up and alarms don't go off and all that. But really, in this day and age, we have enough resources that there's not really much excuse for making excuses for being late. You know, if you've got an appointment time set up and then you sleep in, or you have to tell a few lies in order to turn up late without getting in trouble, then yes, something's wrong somewhere. There are some circumstances where people can forget because of mental health conditions and stuff like that. But if you're a support worker doing a job, you've kind of got to think of all that before signing up for the job, you know. But yeah, let's hope for the best for next Wednesday. If this person turns up late by like 3 minutes, I'm like, so that's normal. But if they turn up 10 minutes late, 20 minutes late, I'm just going to cancel them and say, sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it. And if they start giving me the, traffic's holding me up, another client's holding me up, I have to go to the hospital, I have to do this, I just go, well, you're being dodgy, I'm getting rid of you. I'll get a new worker. That's how I handle people now. I mean, I don't like latecomers. I hate people who are late. If it happens once every several years because of illness, hey, people can't help getting sick. Very occasionally, maybe they can't help being late because they left at a good time, then the car broke down, this and that. It's like, people don't have control over that. Stuff happens. But when it's going to happen every single fucking week for nearly a month, it's like, what are you doing? Why are you not managing your time? Why is everything always wrong and you have to be late because you're not prioritising your vehicle maintenance and all that sort of stuff. Like, what's going on? You know, if the car's always breaking down, get a new fucking car. If you're always late because of, I don't know, you leave early but something has to go wrong, well, fucking tell your other mates to stop ringing you up when you're driving and stop interrupting you when you're going to a freaking job, and, you know, whichever other clients are picked up in the morning, I don't know. There needs to be some strictness somewhere. And maybe clients need help, so the support workers are late because the clients need a lot of help, you know. So then I guess they need to manage their time a bit better between clients, or just say they can't take on their other client or do something. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. And like, I'd rather the support worker just say, you know, I've got another client in the morning, I can't do a shift straight after, I have to wait till the afternoon. It's like, well, that's better than saying, sorry, I'm held up by another client, or I'm held up by traffic every week. And when support workers have all these excuses ready, I know that they are not good at organising their own lives and they don't have control over their family situation. So they sign up for a fucking job hoping to get more money with no concern about time management and turning up late and making other people's schedules fuck up because the workers are late. You know, I used to have to miss medical appointments because of late support workers. I won't put up with that now. If I know I've got a medical appointment at a certain time and the worker is not there early, I just go without the support worker and I just say, well, I left home because you didn't pick me up on time. And then I get a Uber taxi and I just tell the worker, sorry, but you didn't arrive on time and I have to be at the doctor's at a certain time. You'll have to now meet me at the doctor's. And then the poor Uber drivers are like, oh, what happened? I'm like, people who choose not to be punctual, don't worry about it. You know, oh my God. I'm getting disappointed with the human race, if you want me to be quite friggin' honest. I'm starting to not like people. Just, oh, God damn it. People just need to start learning how to be human beings, decent human beings, instead of friggin' monsters. That's what people need to be doing. And now I'm too scared to go out for the rest of this week because I found out that there weren't very many people at my local shopping centre due to an attack that happened on Saturday afternoon, and I was there. And now I'm glad that I used an Amazon locker for my package pickup because it has prevented people or someone, whoever, basically it has prevented my package from being bloody stolen. And then someone attacked supermarket staff, held up the supermarket people and tried to fucking rob them, and didn't get very far, intimidated me and several other people and did their best that they fucking could to cause as much mayhem as possible. And ever since then, not many people, including me, have turned up to that supermarket because we're scared shitless of this guy creating another friggin' terrorist situation, trying to rob the fucking supermarket. Like, why the hell would you walk up to a fucking service desk and rob a friggin' supermarket? Like, come on. Oh. So yeah, I'm scared of going out because if I get confronted by this guy, holy shit, I'm going to lose myself, man. I'm going to end up back in the hospital sooner than I think. Oh, God. I'm just not going to handle it. Yuck, I'm not going to handle that very well at all. So I'm going to wait until like next week to go out because I don't want to be confronted by fucking robbers again. I mean, it will happen again in future, but I don't want it to happen anytime this week, next week, the week after. It's kind of friggin' scary. I mean, I really never dreamed for a million years that I would be in the same shopping centre as a robber committing a fucking robbery. I never thought I would ever be confronted by something like that. I'm not happy. So I've decided not to go out at all this week because I'm terrified. In any case, I will be reading my Braille books and reading as much as I can before next Wednesday. And then when I put the books in my support worker's car, I'll just say, yeah, we can just drop them off after we go to a different shopping centre. We can come back and drop these books off. And then I'll be okay. So yeah, I'll read as much as I can before next Wednesday. And then I'm going to ring up the Braille house and just say, look, I'm working towards getting a new Braille display. I don't want any more paper Braille books sent out to me because I'm working on getting a new Braille display. So, yeah, I would rather just not keep receiving and sending Braille books back, and receiving Braille books. Because I prefer electronic Braille. So yeah, I will definitely be sorting that out. And then if the Braille display ends up fucking up because of Bluetooth playing up too much, I'll eventually just give up on Braille. I mean, I don't want to give up on it entirely, but, what else am I going to do? But I do think I'll be better off with the Braille display, and hopefully Bluetooth won't stuff up too much. Oh, God. In any case, I've got a bit of money to spend this week, but just not a whole lot, so I just won't friggin' spend it. I'll just leave it where it is, and next Sunday when I've been to Costco and I know how much money I've got left over, I'll stash that aside, set that aside for a later date, for a rainy day, and I'll just leave it the way it bloody is. So, yeah. I guess on Friday I'm getting my frozen meal delivery, which will be good news, and then I literally don't have to worry about getting more frozen meals for how long? Say 3-4 weeks, about 3 weeks. I don't have to worry about frozen bloody meals at all. So, yeah. I must say I'm doing pretty good with how I've got my meals set up. And then when I go to the stupid doctors, if they ask me if I've got a meal routine going, I do. I get heaps of meal trays and I cook sometimes, but I mainly eat frozen meals and frozen desserts and that you thaw out. Obviously you don't eat it fully frozen, you thaw it out and then you eat it when it's thawed or heated up. So yeah, I'm just going to open up Seeing AI. Seeing AI.
Speech on. Phone. Page 1. Line. Tele. Cap. App. Map. App. See. Suncorp. Seeing AI. Seeing AI. Contents. Dairy. Almonds. Gluten. Rat. 10. Carbohydrates. B3 fair. Sodium. Abirio. The noise. Start the noise. Error. Rating. pH Arven. 0144. Check. The more. Warzone. Check. Energy. Rating. 3238. Char. 0.
Let me get some dessert out. What have I got?
Zupa Dupa. In A. Crash. Arley. Wall. Meals. Gourmet. Giant. 171. Strawberry pie. Ingrid. Gourmet meals.
Strawberry cheesecake, rightio. That one.
Ingredients.
And
gelatine. Vegetable
what have I got?
407. Cream. Uber. Toba.
What have I got here?
Freezer. Ish and Niece. Hard powder. Sugar. Milk powder. Starch Aurelia. Agent 450. 3 stars. 1444. Gourmet meals. Set meals. Since 1903. Tippy date and custard 160 grams.
That's
Vapor.
okay.
Custard powder. Soda. Milk powder. Starch. 1440.
That's okay.
Emulsifier. Agent 450. Stabilizer. 401,516. Color. 1.
That's
J.
alright.
Star. Energy. Rating.
I'm going to leave the sticky date, leave the cheesecake to thaw.
Bedouin.
Then I'm going to heat up the sticky date
Cottage.
and
Cookies.
custard.
There's right non. Or evil pretzels.
Going to heat that up.
Lent. Wienery. 1. Ho. Seeing AI. App switcher. CMA. Recorder HQ. Active. Recorder. CMA. Pause.
Picking up my sticky date custards. I figured out that if you peel up the corner of your frozen meal tray, you don't have to, if you peel up the corner of the frozen meal tray, then you don't have to pierce it several
Door
times.
closed.
You don't have to pierce the film several times if you peel up a corner of the bloody thing. Hang on, what's... Have I got dirty microwave? Wait up. The microwave is super dirty. Hang on. It is very dirty. Handle's dirty as. And the buttons are really dirty. Jesus. Had to clean that off because it's all disgusting and dirty.
Cancel. 1 minute. 1 minute. Start. High power microwave. 1 minute. 30 seconds.
Yep. That's about right. And I'm not going to thaw the cheesecake out in the microwave because doing that won't be any good at all. Because, you know, it'll just get too hot. The microwave will make the cheesecake too hot. So yeah, I have to be more careful with that. Where is the fucking cheesecake? Where did I put it? I'll put it way over there. The good thing about frozen meals is with these meal trays, you can thaw them out for a good 60 minutes without putting them into the fridge. If you want to leave them for up to a day, you know, 24 hours, you got to put the frozen meal tray straight into the fridge, and you can use them within 24 hours of putting them into the fridge. So when you're heating it up from frozen, if it's a meal, it's like eight minutes. If you're heating it up from thawed, it's 5 minutes. So yeah, that's how that works. Sticky date and custard. Yum. Yum.
Door open.
Very nice.
Door closed.
You know, my phone's in the road.
Record. Recorder HQ. Heading. Pause. Stop. Button. Pause. -7. 9. 2. Speech off.
Okay. Now I can't even peel the stuff off. Oh, they've really buggered up this stuff here. They've messed it. Set it so you can barely get the stuff away. You can barely get the plastic off. Some of the plastic is fully stuck on there. Okay, I've got most of it off. Most of it. Okay, most of it's gone. tell you what, I'm super pissed off with people from the NDIS. I don't know how many times I can say it. These meals are giving me strength though, because they're not too much. I can eat it without wasting it. And they ain't making me sick. So, I'm glad for that. Yum. The good thing about this custard is even though most of it's warm and some of it's a little bit frozen, it still tastes really yum. And there's not a huge amount of custard, so it doesn't bugger up my stomach too much. You get all the nutrition you need without eating too much food. So, I'm satisfied with the results of these frozen meals. Yum. They're extremely yummy. Very nice. Yum, yum. Well, that was beautiful food. I've got a strawberry cheesecake that I can eat after. Yeah. Beautiful. And I'm getting a shitload of food on Friday. So suffice to say, I am satisfied with the results of my food orders, and I don't have to keep buying heaps of food orders for weeks now. What else to think? Not much, apart from I'm doing the washing, and I'm eventually going to do a bit more housework today, but you know, that'll happen in time. Yeah. What else? I will be definitely fighting back next year. I'm just going to tell people straight up that I won't be told how to handle my new NDIS plan. I'm just not going to use it. When the NDIS says why not, I say because I have money. Because I have money. That's all they need to know, because I have money. Money is power in this world. And if you say I've got money, there ain't much anyone can do about that. And I'll use the money to get whatever the hell I want in this world. So yeah, I can afford whatever I want if I just save up and get what I want. I can bloody afford it. You know, it's not that hard to figure out that you just let your money sit there and save it and save it and save it. And I was considering rejoining a gym, but that's clearly not going to work because rent is going up in August. So not only can I not join the gym, I can't buy a new laptop. I can't get a Wi-Fi network. I just can't afford any of it. It's too expensive, so I'm not getting any of that stuff. And I'm not rejoining the gym. When I have to prioritise food and medication, the gym isn't going to work. So I just don't go out at all. And I found out off my GP that I can't just get whatever drugs I want off Amazon again. And I obviously figured that out when I read an article today. Amazon is literally not selling any bottles of a certain product that I bought a couple of years ago. It's no longer on Amazon, so I can't even buy that product. There are a couple of other products that I can buy, but the GP told me to get it very sparingly because of different warnings and stuff. Yeah, so she told me one of the medications I can only get very, very sparingly. So, yeah, I have to be really cautious. But other than that, the product I wanted to get is no longer being sold on bloody Amazon. And when I check out the Amazon US page, that product isn't being sold either on the US page. So looks like none of us can just go and buy it. We have to get it prescribed. You have to get it prescribed off the doctor. And if you want any other first generation antihistamines, and I ask for ones that specifically cause sedation, I have to get it prescribed because, I don't need to be sedated. It's like, well, I do actually. And then the doctor ends up caving in and goes, fine, whatever, but you can only get 2 packets of this product each year and all this other stupid shit. So yeah, the product I'm getting, you get from the pharmacy. You can't get it at the supermarket or over Amazon. You have to get it from an Australian pharmacy. And you can only get 2 packets of that every 12 months. If you need more than that, if you need more than 2 packets in 12 months, you've got to get it prescribed off the doctor. So if I need to get a 3rd packet of that stuff, the doctor will have to write up a bloody script. So I'm not happy. And I found out that the laxative I get, you can only get 2 packs of those per year without a script. If you want to get a 3rd packet of this laxative, you have to get it prescribed. You have to get the doctor to write up a script if you want more than 2 packets of this laxative in 12 months. So you can buy 2 packets without a script, and then if you need a 3rd packet, you need a script. And I'm like, Jesus, Paracetamol's the same. You can get 2 large packs of paracetamol. If you want a 3rd one, you got to get a script. I'm like, Jesus, that's crazy. Crazy. Like everything's getting to where it needs to be prescribed, and it's like, oh my God. I have to get a prescription, hey? Oh my God. Okay. Well, I am not entirely happy about it, but I sort of get it's about drug safety and keeping people from getting sick and like dying and that, but this country is just getting really strict. And the US and UK are getting very strict with drug laws too. Stuff that you used to get over the counter in the US, you can't get over the counter anymore in the US. So you're getting really strict. Strict as all fuckers, what's going on. And it's okay to bring down the drug addiction crisis and bring down the health issues and shit, but yeah, it's kind of, I don't know what to think of it all. But the medication I take every day of the week needs a fucking script from the doctor. You can't just go and buy it. And if you get another one that's more expensive, and then you say to the chemist, oh, by the way, I'll have to take 2 of those tablets because one of those isn't enough based on my doctor's assessment. They say, well, we can't give you the packet because it's an over-the-counter type of medicine and you can't have more than one unless the doctor fills out or writes up a script, and then you can get that filled in as having 2 tablets. And I'm like, well, I'm not just going to take 1 tablet just because it's over the counter and it's less than the dosage prescribed by the doctor. Just because it's a different drug. And then she's like, oh, if you're going to take 2 of them, it has to be set up as a script. And I'm like, well, that's bullshit. I'm just taking exactly the same dose prescribed every fucking morning. But if it's in a non-prescription packet and I want to take 2 tablets, the chemist can't sell it to me. So then I have to lie to them and say, fine, I'll just take one pill every morning and then take it home and take 2 tablets. But then they know I'm lying to them, so they're like, oh, we can't show you the packet of medication for you to take 2 of them at a time because it has to be, it has to be written up as a script that you need 2 tablets, otherwise you can't buy that packet. And it's like, oh, that's a heap of shit. What a heap of bloody red tape, bureaucratic crap. So if I buy something because I need a certain dosage and it's a different brand drug, the pharmacist can't sell it to me. I'm like, that's a heap of shit. So if the doctor prescribes a certain dosage of medication and then I go to the chemist and I'm like, I have to get this other brand of medication, it's not the correct dosage, but I can make the correct dosage by increasing how many pills I take, then I've got to go and get the original script from the other for the other drug so that I can get the correct dosage. Otherwise, well, I just can't buy the packet and administer, dispense for myself the right dosage without a script being friggin' written up. Oh, God. So, yeah, I am kind of not happy. But, whatever. Whatever. In any case, I really have nothing better to do than go back to bed, so I might just go back to bed. Oh no, I've got that cheesecake. Yeah, I think I'll be a bit... I'll go back to bed, but I won't leave this cheesecake out for too long because then it will melt too much and I'll have to throw it in the rubbish bin. In any case, I am done with this recording.
Stop button.
I will be back on later. I'm going to play some games, but not at the moment. I just want to rest and wake up a bit more. Oh, I hate reflux. Yuck. I'm just not... I'm not taking this new change to the NDIS very well. I think it's a heap of shit. And if I have anybody from my family ringing up and complaining at me, I'll just say, well, don't complain at me, complain at the fucking NDIS. Stop friggin' hassling me. In any case, I'll be keeping to myself for a couple of hours, ringing up my friend later and playing some games when I get back onto my recording. And I'll probably take my sleeping supplement tonight by around 9:30, 10 p.m, something like that. Because I find if I take it too early, like say I take it between 8:30 and 9 p.m, I go into a deep sleep until 2:30, 3 a.m, and then I'm awake all night. I just can't sleep for the rest of the night. Because I fall asleep really deeply, and then it's like, oh crap, now I wake up later and I'm like, damn it, I can't sleep. But then if I don't take that sleeping pill and I'm awake till 3 a.m, I fall asleep until 11:30, 12 p.m, and I'm like, nah, I can't do that. That's bullshit. So yeah, I can't really win. Anyway, I'm going to upload this to YouTube now, so I'll speak to you all later. I can't wait to eat this really beautiful cheesecake. Yum, 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 yum. I love cheesecake. In any case, yeah, everyone have a good day, have a good night, wherever you are, and I will talk again soon, and I'll be playing games.
Stop button.